Okay, guys, all right, everybody, it's 7 o'clock, so we're gonna call the meeting to order for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. We're in a new year. Welcome, everybody. We're gonna start off with our land acknowledgement as usual. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Corporation of the Township of Nipigon respectfully acknowledges it is located on the traditional lands of the Red Rock Indian Band, signatory to the Robinson Superior Treaty of 1850, and the township, further respectfully acknowledges the historic presence of the Métis people on these lands. Are there any disclosures of community interest tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Number 2A, approval of previous council minutes of December 19th, 2023. So this is resolution 001-2024, moved by Councillor McKenzie, seconded by Councillor Hart, that the regular council meeting minutes for December 19th, 2023 are hereby adopted as recorded by the deputy clerk. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed and carried. All right, finance, 3A, resolution 002-2024, moved by Councillor McKenzie, seconded by Councillor Westhaver, that the payment of accounts as listed on the following payment voucher be and the same is hereby confirmed and approved. Payment voucher number 1, 2024, in the amount of $75,691.56, and payment voucher number 2, 2024, in the amount of $211,013.10. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. Okay, number 4, Public Works, Chief Building Official Service Agreement. We've just had a bit of an adjustment to our CBO service agreement. Our contracted person in Thunder Bay. There's just a change in the hourly rate here. Does anyone have any? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I just was wondering, does the fellow of the CBO, does he actually have his own insurance coverage as well?
I would have to look into that.
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to ask about was like his own personal insurance for liability and stuff like that, but also WSIB coverage.
He would be covered under our WSIB.
Under RWSIB?
Yes.
I don't think it's specified here.
I don't
It should be.
Yeah, it's not.
It should be there. Yeah, that's the only two things sorry, picked them up kind of late.
Yeah, because the only thing that was changed from the last time was the rate, right, Linda? So it would have to be an adjustment to the, or just like, do you want to add that into the agreement? That
Well,
just acknowledgement?
Normally a contractor has their own insurance.
Yeah.
And also normally a contractor supplies their own WSIB.
Yes, and I believe that he likely does, but I would have to double check for sure.
Would you want to see that in the agreement or just on an email from Paul?
As long as it's
Does it
can get
acknowledge?
confirmed, that'd be fine.
Okay. So should, do you want to?
Section 6.
It does talk about it in section 6.
Yeah. The insurance, that'd be liability.
It talks about the insurance, but it's
Yeah,
our
doesn't
insurance.
really, yeah.
I had an issue with
Do you have something?
that. There was big legal problems that was under our hat, not his. Like if he gets into trouble for sued or something for misplacement of his findings, and why should the township be held responsible?
So something in there that says that the township is not liable for
That is,
any,
we're not liable, but we cover his fees, legal fees, and I don't know why it should be.
oh, does it say that in there? Did you say that it says that in here we cover his legal fees?
That's what I read today.
Where's that?
That's a part of that section 6.
Number
Yeah.
6.
Oh,
That's what I was
okay.
just reading through. It's like,
Number 6, in the event
Okay,
of
gotcha.
prosecution, yeah. I don't agree with that. I think he should have that, but he's doing something that's illegal, incorrect, and get sued is not on our cause.
does he do this for other communities or just This one.
He does it for other communities as
Okay,
well.
he would most likely have liability on his own.
So
He
he's
should.
a contractor, not an employee.
That's right. You should have to look after his own.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're checking into just to confirm the WSIB and the personal or business liability
Business
insurance,
liability.
whatever. And then the legal costs, what would you like to look at there, Gail? Just to,
I just don't know, like, who wrote this up and why that was added in there.
Should
Yes.
this not be written by the McKittrick, the town's lawyer? With
This-
legal contracts like this? Would he not be the right one to have the clauses for a contractor versus an employee? I'm not sure would that not be the normal process?
I would think so, but I mean, we could have him maybe check over or solicitor check over this just to make sure, because like you said, we don't wanna open ourselves up to any legal proceedings or costs or anything like that if someone does something that's not above board, right, Councilor McKenzie?
That's why I asked about the insurance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so, we probably shouldn't approve this then until we have, Mr. McKittrick look it over just to make, because item number 6 is
Yeah.
causing a bit of an issue for us, so.
And
It's weird to follow.
WSIB?
I do believe that it was the same as the original, just.
Yes,
changes
yeah,
are-
but I think maybe that's something that was noticed that wasn't noticed before, probably, by the sounds of it.
I would think our lawyer would be knowledgeable on a contract for a contractor versus an employee. So
Yeah.
if he's looking at it in terms of this being an appropriate contract for a contractor, not an employee, he should have all those right clauses then.
Do you know who wrote this up?
I do not know. This is the same contract that was given to us when we first hired him as a contractor, which would have been less than a year ago, right? Because it would have been after
I believe it would have been last March.
last March.
Mhm.
Okay, so,
that
yeah.
Needs to be looked at.
so WSIB insurance, like liability insurance, which I guess if we're having Mr. McKittrick look at this anyway, we should probably have him add that in there, to acknowledge that there's, their insurance. in there.
Section 6 should be a little easier to read than it is. It's a
Standard
little.
clauses.
Okay. So we're gonna defer that to another. Okay, 5A, the CCAN zoning bylaw amendment. Dennis, do you have anything to say about the work you've done on the bylaw here?
Yes, okay, so following last council meeting, I was presented with a few questions on the more in detail of the stipulations that we had discussed on committee member and staff member meeting held prior to that. I'm pleased to inform you that all provisions and stipulations such as easements, setbacks, percentage of usable areas of properties, etc., are all detailed in the zoning bylaws and building permit regulations. So there was a few questions last time that we didn't have the answer to. You can pose a multitude of questions. They're already in there. Because I think the only wording that was changed with the CCANs included in the building permit process. They're not erected, they're just placed, but when you change the wording to CCANs for building permit, it's no different than any accessory building. So all those questions all the answers are in there, whether it's the zoning bylaw regulations, the building permit along with MTO Nippigan's building permit process. All those answers are in there already, so any questions that possibly ever have, or down the line, or, I mean, property owner, they're already in there, so.
Okay, so thank you for that, Dennis. Thanks for your work on this. We are just gonna defer this, the discussion and on the approval of this bylaw, because it's just been sort of brought to our attention that the application process might need to be, the wording for the application process might need to be massaged a little bit, so it's a little less onerous, because it's, it sounds like from the way that it's worded, that this would have to, every application would have to go to our committee of adjustment, which it normally only meets a couple times a year, and which normally only deals with sort of like severance of land and things like that, and it's a bit of an onerous task. So what we'll do is we'll defer this to look at the process for the application, just to see if we can streamline it a little more, because there probably will be quite a few applications coming in. And the committee of adjustment folks didn't sign up to do all that. So we'll just defer it. This is great work. And we're just gonna defer it just to massage a little bit, if that's okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Thanks a lot, Dennis.
I just changed the wording to what I thought was appropriate, including the numbers, but
Yes.
that's not official, that's just a
Yeah,
submission.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. Yeah, we'll just look at, like I said, the application process needs to be massaged a bit. So we'll look at that the next time. Thank you. 6 EDC, 6A, the Rural Economic Development Program intake. So it looks like the RED program is once again happening, and it'll be opening January. Do you know if it's opened yet? Probably not, eh, Linda? When did we get this? Okay, December 18th.
Yeah,
I didn't look up the link. I didn't see if it was open yet, but is there anyone that's, is there anything that's sort of floating around in any of the staff's head yet to apply
Not
for it?
yet, no,
Okay.
but I just wanted to make council aware that it was open. And
Yep.
so we can look into that.
Probably bring that to the different committees and stuff as well, because there's a lot of freedom in the RED program.
It's very focused on business, job creation and investment, like bringing investment in and things like that. Just an example of a few things that have happened here with the RED program is like some work done at the Lookout, the banners that we got here, some work done at I think at the Edge Arts, there was some stuff in there too, but yeah, it's very competitive. It's really highly applied for. And so, and it's an extensive application, but if there's something that, you know, staff's looking at, that would be good for this program, why not? Anyone have any discussion points or anything? Okay. For information. 7A, Ontario Senior of the Year Award. So we have a letter here from Sumi. She's on the planning committee for the Nippigan Seniors Banquet. And she's just wanting to know if we are going to be choosing a Ontario Senior of the Year for the banquet, which is what we do annually. And then we would need to let them know by the end of April. Yeah. So we're all good with selecting a senior, not today, but in the next month or so, or, yeah. What's the process for that, Linda?
So you can, I did send you an email this afternoon that has, like the previous citizen or senior award winners and then people that you may want to consider. But then if you have someone in mind, you can just let Debbie know and Debbie will do the application. Or if you want to ask for input from the public as well, you can do that as well.
Okay. What's everyone interested in looking for nominations from public or?
Yeah, I can remember this in the past, and like lots of times you get the applications in after, kind of after the fact, but then you have the banquet, you give them, you know, the award or whatever, but the actual physical certificate kind of comes later.
Mm.
But it's a good idea to get it in early
Earlier rather than
and have,
later.
have the township make the selection.
Okay.
Is there a deadline, like, and
At the end of April is
End of
the
April.
deadline to submit.
maybe,
Yeah.
maybe something could go in the Gazette or something for anybody that wants to nominate somebody?
Well, we have to decide if that's the process that we want to do. So we can either select ourselves from, so maybe what we can do is like defer that decision until, because Linda did just send us something this afternoon with
Okay.
past recipients, because just like the volunteer of the year, we don't duplicate past recipients.
Okay.
So just to eliminating past recipients and then look at any suggestions and maybe just think about it for a few weeks and maybe make the decision at the next meeting, because we're still only January, so.
Sure.
Okay. 7B DSAB 2024 Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference briefings. So this is just for information from DSAB. These are their position papers that they're going to be bringing to Roma. I think there's 4.
Yes.
Social assistance shelter rates, yeah. Councilor McKenzie, do you have any discussion?
Yes, yeah, there's a number of issues there like housing, education, childcare, support, registered early childhood educators, that type of thing. And I was gonna propose that we offer a resolution, make a resolution to support the position paper of DSAP at the Roma conference. And then we could forward that to DSAP. So I'd like to make the resolution that, that we support the position papers of DSAP as presented at the Roma conference. We'll keep it simple, and then we can have that resolution for the, his name off on the CA over there.
Bill Bradica.
Bill Bradford, yeah. So that would give them something, when they're at the table, that,
Yeah.
here's a resolution from local.
Okay.
You'd like to do that?
Can you write that up, Linda?
Yeah.
Just to, that our council supports the 2024 package being presented by DSAB at Roma. So while Linda's putting that together, I just was looking through their backgrounds and summaries about a few things, and I think one of them was they want to raise the price, like the rent that is paid to the building owners for the low-income housing. So this just jumped out at me. So since 2000, rents have increased by 81.2% in Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay, they talk about Thunder Bay, but it's the district, right? So that's, almost doubling. That's just nuts, right? Inflation is killing
Given
people.
significance numbers, it would be over double.
It would be, yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
So, Councilor McKenzie?
And with your background at Rossville,
Mhm.
they're also looking at registered early childhood educators raising their rate to $30 an hour.
Yep.
So right now, I don't know what it is right now, but it's a lot less than
It's
that.
not $30 an hour, I'd say. Probably closer to 20 or 22. Yeah, and they do great work, so we gotta attract more people to those jobs. Okay, so this would be 003/2024. So this can be moved, you wanna move that ordinance? Since you got that?
Everybody else?
Thank you. So, resolution 003/2024, moved by Councillor McKenzie, seconded by Councillor Sakamoto. That council supports the 2024 Thunder Bay DSAB Rural Ontario Municipal Association Conference briefings. All in favor? Opposed? And carried. And that's coming up soon, Linda, so if you can, send some kind of a letter or something to Bill Bradica, just to
Okay.
acknowledge that we received it and we we approve, that would be, I'd support it, that would be great, thank you. Okay, the EMO memorandum, wrapping another year of staying safe, practiced, and prepared. So this is for informational purposes. Does anyone have any discussion on that?
Thought the statistics were somewhat interesting.
That's on with the
The second.
the
page.
chart kind of that they have, the good
Yes.
list by the numbers.
Right.
Yeah. Number of declared emergencies, 20. That's a lot. Okay, 7D, in,
Sorry,
Oh.
I did just want to add.
oh,
to that,
yes,
That we received an email stating that we were compliant for our emergency management exercise and for 2023 was compliant, so.
good job.
Yeah.
That's
To use
awesome.
as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for that, Linda. 7D, information from Trans Canada Trail on upcoming research initiatives. So this is just an acknowledgement that there's gonna be, a survey put out, for the trails. And just to let us know about it, so that when it does come up, we can make sure we fill it out.
Should share that with the Trails Committee.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Sundries E, Municipality of Wawa, resolution to support Bill C-310 to amend Income Tax Act for volunteer firefighters tax credit. Okay, so this, just in a nutshell, it's to support Bill C-310, and enact amendments to the Income Tax Act to increase the amount of tax credits for volunteer firefighting and search and rescue volunteer services from $3,000 to $10,000. So it's to raise their tax credit because they don't get paid to do what they do, so. Any discussion on that, Councilor McKenzie?
Yes, I'd like to propose another resolution from this council to support them and have a copy of that sent to our member of parliament, Patty Hagee.
Okay. So this is resolution 004-2024, moved by Councilor Hart, seconded by Councilor McKenzie. You're so good, you didn't even know. You signed it. That this council hereby supports Bill C-310 to amend the Income Tax Act, re-volunteer firefighters tax credit. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Vote time.
Yeah, that's a good initiative.
It's a lot of initiatives you can get with giving people tax breaks for doing that kind of
For
stuff.
sure,
It's-
Mhm. Okay, this is a quick and dirty meeting here. Does anyone have any other business? We'll start over here with Councilor Westhaven.
No, I actually did but that was over the survey, so.
Okay.
It's gonna be great now.
So basically, you're talking about the budget survey,
Yes.
so yeah, the deadline ended for everybody to put in their surveys, and we got 64 surveys, which is cool. And so it was compiled by staff and sent to us, so we'll have a look at the results before we head into our pre-budget. Councilor McKenzie?
Yes, thank you. Just to confirm, everyone got the email about the Nipigon Museum, Nipigon narrations. To support, there's like, they want to do 3 more
Yeah.
interviews, so did everyone send in their support for that and indicate that to Linda?
I did not, but I do.
I
I
support
didn't, but I
that.
do.
Okay.
No,
Okay, yeah, I just, you know,
The holidays.
Chris was a little confused and I thought,
Yes.
just clarify that that's an okay for
Yeah.
him to go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
150,
okay. I'm okay with that.
Put me down for 150.
And then just sale of surplus buildings in Nipigon. Do we have anybody like Cindy Ferris looking at that for us? Or-
I don't, I'm not sure about that. So, specific, like, are you talking about property or like buildings?
Yeah, one that we just, I don't know if I can say it publicly, but the one that we just obtained,
Mhm.
re-obtained.
Sure. So, yeah, maybe we'll direct Linda to look into the process of, as soon as we're able to put that property up through Wendy.
I backtrack here. I had been wondering about the EMS, have they chosen any kind of a property in the area or
not yet.
No, so that would affect Tesla, right, maybe.
No, Tesla's gonna be there regardless. That's the
Right.
contract.
But the expanding part,
We
don't know the
I-
details of how much.
no, I'm not sure how much they'll expand, but that's,
It's usually the technology within the system, within the system itself.
I took
Right
it
now,
that
it's
they-
just lots of Teslas.
I took
non-Teslas.
it that they were going to expand the amount of units up there, which, might impact us in the long run.
I'm not sure what the process is for that to add on the extra. Because they're not just gonna be charging Teslas now, they're gonna be charging all EVs.
Oh.
That's what they're doing there. So I'm not sure if they're just plugging it into what's already there, or if they're gonna put up one thing with just a few extra plugs. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I wonder if there's other communities and areas that are getting the same kind of request from Tesla to do that.
It
Probably.
would probably be a universal thing, because that's one of the main complaints about the Tesla chargers is nobody else can charge on them.
As long as they don't impede the possible usage for that.
Counselor Sakamoto, do you have any other business? Counselor Hart,
We're good at the moment.
staff? Staff? No.
Can I just comment that on my package, there was a recreation item, and you don't have recreation.
No, that was put in by mistake, because we deferred that to get more information, and there was no information forthcoming, so we had to defer it.
It just shows I read the package.
There,
Yeah.
gold star, Mrs. Clearwater.
Well, somebody read it.
Yeah, and I don't think I have it. I just want to say that it's, the holidays were a little bit marred by all the accidents that happened I think there were 5 deaths that happened in a couple of
Very
weeks
short
there.
time.
So I'm not sure if our firefighters were at any of the scenes, but, thank you to the first responders who ended up there and were dealing with that, because it was pretty bad. So, just a reminder for everybody to be careful out there, and that'll happen without weather, so we can't blame the maintenance on that one, so, yeah. Okay, we are going to be going into closed session now. 2024, moved by Counselor Westhaver, seconded by Counselor Hart. That this council resolve into closed session under